This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 15th day of May in the year 2019. Here is what we're tracking tonight. Republic Bank Guyana has confirmed that some of its customers have been impacted by recent fraudulent activity on its Visa International debit cards. In a statement today, the bank said through its robust monitoring systems, it was able to quickly identify cases where customers' cards were compromised and was able to effectively minimize the risk to other customers. The bank said it is taking necessary steps to regularize all affected accounts, using a well-defined standard process focused on reducing customer inconvenience. Republic Bank noted that it regrets the inconvenience to its customers and advises that impacted customers will be asked to confirm and validate their transactions to assist with the process. The bank has also advised that in the interim, additional security measures have been put in place to reduce further impact, and as a result, some customers may experience interruptions in service levels. The bank added that it will continue to ensure that the most up-to-date security is available through all of its channels toward the financial safety of the banking public. Republic Bank is also reminding customers of the need to be vigilant when using their debit cards and monitoring their account activity. Several customers have filed complaints to the bank after noticing deductions from their accounts to cover online payments for purchases that they did not make. The bank has launched a probe along with the Visa company. One customer told News Source that she was left shocked last week when she visited an ATM site to make a withdrawal and noticed that over $50,000 was missing from her account. The woman said she is not internet savvy and has never done any online shopping in her life, and she lives alone with a young child who does not have access to any computer. She said she was able to file a complaint with the bank, and while they questioned her in detail, she was assured that the money would have been replaced, since based on the history of her account, she has never made any online purchases. Other persons have come forward with similar stories, and the incidents appear not to be limited to Republic Bank. Customers of another commercial bank, which also uses the Visa debit card system, have also complained about deductions from their accounts. Meanwhile, the Guyana Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission has started to receive official complaints about the problem. More news coming up in just a moment.
Here now, I want to switch over to GTT right now. Because all this time and money I waste on a calls alone can just send up my blood pressure.
You've come to the right place.
Really?
Once you're switched over with our network, you can activate our Fab 5 plan. With our Fab 5 plan, you can enjoy free unlimited calls with 4 family and friends.
You got to be kidding me.
You will also get 5 gigabytes of data with 250 text messages.
You got to be kidding me.
And your chosen 4 can also call you for free.
You got to be kidding me.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only $5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Welcome back. President David Granger today indicated that other changes will be coming to his government. Speaking to reporters at his office this morning, the president said before the end of this month, he will be announcing changes to the permanent secretaries in the various government ministries.
But other changes have to be made at the level of permanent secretaries, and by the end of this month, beginning of June, there should be some announcement.
Just yesterday, the government announced the appointments of former government ministers Carl Greenidge, Dominic Gaskin, and Dr. Rupert Rupnerine to new posts in the government. 2 weeks ago, it was announced that former State Minister Joe Harmon had been appointed as the Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency. The appointments come on the heels of the 4 ministers being forced to resign because of their dual citizenship. It is unconstitutional for the holder of dual citizenship to serve as a member of the Guyana Parliament. The issue came up in the courts following the no-confidence vote against the government back in December, when one of its own members of parliament who holds dual citizenship voted against the government, then sought the refuge of the Canadian government to leave Guyana. He holds Canadian citizenship also. Let's tell you now that with the possibility of early elections, the government took legislation to the National Assembly today to ensure that the Guyana Elections Commission is fully funded for the hosting of elections. Finance Minister Winston Jordan presented a supplementary budget bill to the National Assembly this afternoon, seeking total funding of just over $7.9 billion. Of that amount, $3.4 billion has been listed as funding for the Guyana Elections Commission for preparations for and the hosting of elections. The budget will cover rental of buildings for the Commission, fuel and lubricants, travel and postage, utility and other charges. Following a meeting with President David Granger 2 months ago, the chairman of the Elections Commission wrote to the president requesting the funding for the hosting of elections. In that same letter, the GCOM chairman indicated that the earliest timeline that the commission could host elections would be in late November. So far, the commission has not budged from that timeline, even as the Caribbean Court of Justice is examining the appeals of the no-confidence motion. The local appeal court had thrown out the passage of the motion. The Elections Commission is currently getting ready to begin the house-to-house registration process and has launched a public relations drive to ready citizens for that registration period. Well, the Cheddi Jagan International Airport has announced that the recently introduced airport facilitation fees are now being incorporated in the ticket prices for all of the airlines. In a statement last evening, the airport management explained that a new system went into full operation on the 11th of May. Passengers will no longer be required to pay the airport charges separately when they depart or arrive in the country. The airport management has extended thanks to the airlines and the International Air Traffic Association for expediting the process that has allowed for the incorporation of the charges in the tickets. Passengers had complained about having to pay the fees separately at the airport, and the International Air Traffic Association had even issued a statement criticizing the move. In response to that complaint, the Public Infrastructure Ministry filed a concern of its own about the airlines increasing their fares by a big margin during and even after peak seasons. The new airport fees represent $17 for departure and the same entry charge. Everything is heating up for the Guyana Carnival, which begins this Friday and run for 10 days with several parties and big events being hosted across the city. The event is expected to give a major boost to the economy, with hotels already reporting that they are fully booked. Today, the Georgetown City Council met with the officials of the Guyana Carnival Committee and offered full support. The City Council will be in charge of the vending spots and will also assist with the cleaning of the parade route after the big Carnival Day parade.
The Mayor and City Council is in the process of making space available for persons who are interested in vending. In order to be a part of this, you must come into the Mayor and City Council and let us know your interest. And once this is done, we will allocate a spot to you where you will be able to vend and earn during the carnival celebration.
The Mayor City Council, we're currently examining certain solid waste strategies to put forward, because when we went back to the drawing boards, we would have observed some amount of, I don't want to say inefficiency, but some amount of a challenge as it relates to the way persons discard of their waste. So we're looking at how we should strengthen our solid waste operation going forward to the carnival celebration, and also for the flag raising ceremony for our independence celebration.
Last year was the first hosting of the Guyana Carnival as an independence activity. A number of local and international artists will be on stage at the various carnival events during the period. Turning now to the courts, the Mahdia resident who allegedly stabbed a minor when he was refused an alcoholic drink appeared in court today to face a murder charge related to the stabbing death of the same minor. 55-year-old Philip Backus, also known as Tattoo Nose, appeared before Magistrate Lerone Daly today and was not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge. He is accused of stabbing minor Levern Daniels to death. The incident occurred on the 9th of May in Princeville Village, Mahdia. The prosecutor told the court that the minor and some other friends were hanging out at a nearby shop, enjoying alcoholic beverages, when the accused came up to them and wanted to join their company. He was told to move from the area and was also refused a drink. It is alleged that as the minor was making his way back to his mining camp, he was attacked by the accused and stabbed repeatedly to the chest and stomach. The injured minor was taken to the nearby hospital where he died. The accused fled the scene but was eventually caught. In court today, he gazed around and offered no statements as the charge was read to him, and he was remanded to jail. Across the Region is coming up next.
The future is green. Let's help you experience the future with easy financing for your business or home. Be it for solar energy, water treatment recycling, water filters, energy-saving appliances, or wind power projects. Enjoy competitive interest rates, fast approvals, and discounted lending services fees, low equity contribution, and flexible repayment. Visit us for details or go to www.gbtibank.com or email us at banking@gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
As a luxury mechanic, I'm often asked, what gas should I use in my expensive vehicle? In other countries, you have regular and mid-grade gasoline known as 87, 89, and premium gasoline known as octane 93 to 95. For affordable, high-quality fuel, performance, and high mileage, visit Guy Oil today. Choose Guy Oil Super 95. Guy Oil, we are everywhere.
The last Inhale Soca Block Party was a definite hit. There was like these fire breathers and stuff like that. Like they had conga lines and the whole vibe for the party was just perfect.
We had a blast. I did all of the base makeup.
You know, the girls walking around with the gunny thing, spraying the shots in the mouth, kneeling down, see boys kneeling down, put the foot, getting shots in the mouth.
They had some things that I've never seen before, which is these CO2 guns.
They literally had like a mosh pit in front of the stage. Everybody formed a circle, people jumping in and dancing crazy, girls on the ground.
DJs, they were really good. That most of all made us enjoy ourselves.
The only advice I could give y'all is to definitely get your tickets early.
I will be there soon as Drew give him a free pass.
The Soca Block Party, Friday the 17th of May.
Across the region right now, the 15-member Caribbean community grouping has denounced moves by the United States to strengthen the decades-old trade and economic embargo against Cuba. In a statement issued following the two-day CARICOM Council for Foreign and Community Relations meeting, CARICOM said it remains concerned by the new measures under Title III of the Helms-Burton Act, announced by the government of the United States of America, which would strengthen the U.S. economic, commercial, and financial embargo against Cuba. CARICOM denounced the application of laws and measures of an extraterritorial nature that are contrary to international law, a release said. The Helms-Burton Act seeks to impose international sanctions against the Cuban government, to plan for support of a transition government leading to a democratically elected government in Cuba, and for other purposes. The Donald Trump administration announced last month that it would end the suspension of the law that allows American citizens, including naturalized Cubans, to sue companies and subsidiaries in Cuba that benefited from private properties that were confiscated by the Cuban government. In St. Kitts, the Greek billionaire and heir to the Coca-Cola fortune is reported to have left St. Kitts on Tuesday after he was released on $300,000 EC dollars bail. He made an appearance in court following his arrest on drug-related charges last Thursday. The 50-year-old man Alki David was granted bail after being charged for possession of controlled drugs, possession with intent to supply, and the importation of a controlled drug into the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. The media had been barred from covering the court case on Tuesday, and the police statement said the offenses were committed on the 7th of May at the RLB International Airport in St. Kitts. Media reports in St. Kitts said the man left the country on Tuesday night on board the same private jet. He was arrested by the anti-narcotics unit at the Robert L. Bradshaw International Airport after a search of his private jet uncovered more than 1.3 million Eastern Caribbean dollars worth of marijuana on board. And finally tonight, international news. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for openness between countries, and he has denounced racial supremacy as stupid amid rising trade tensions with the U.S. The remarks earlier today were made in Mr. Xi's first public address since the U.S.-China trade dispute escalated, with tariff hikes on both sides. Mr. Xi did not mention the U.S. or the trade war directly, but focused on presenting China as an open country. He said different civilizations were not destined to clash. Mr. Xi added that China would only become more open to the world in the future. The conference on Wednesday, attended by the presidents of Greece, Sri Lanka and Singapore, was seen as being part of the efforts by China to soften its international image. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.